Hello everyone, LJ Young for That Ain't My Daddy. Today's video is for all the young people with student loans that are just about to graduate or maybe just have graduated. And when I say young, I'm saying, again, people that have just graduated or the people that have just under 30, early 30s, just under 30. Sorry, a plane is flying by here. And this is for you to I want you to open your eyes to what you cannot see, because you get out here and you're probably confused on what to do, especially financially, because the majority of society are in debt and they believe in credit and debt and believe you can't do anything without either one of them, which is pure financial insanity. And I'm here to teach you a way to quickly get to the 1% and get out of the 99%. Okay. Now, just like college, you probably jumped in there and said, hey, everybody's telling you to go to college, but they're not telling you what to go to college for. What I'm gonna tell you is just look at your surroundings financially. Look at your surroundings. Google, all right? We are trillions upon trillions of dollars. Well, trillions. We're in the trillions of dollars worth of student loan debt, okay? Just Google it. All right, that's a lot of people out there pretending to have money. So if you have it, remember, just by math, if you have student loan debt, you're in the negative. Your finances are in the negative. Remember that always. And trillions of dollars, there's a lot of people out there not doing it right, and you don't want to be them. All right, so this is all you got to do. As soon as you graduate with your degree and land that great job, don't do like everybody else. Don't get out there and get a car and a house and finance everything under the sun. Don't do that. All right? Take your ego out of it. You cannot care what the rest of society, because remember, most of society are in debt. Always never forget that. Just look at the statistics. There's a lot of people out there faking it, okay? All you got to do is this. Move back home with your parents. Rent a room from somebody. Stay living as a college student until your student loan debt are paid off. Paid off. And think about it this way. If you pay off your student loans now, you will be immediately catapulted financially in front of all those people that are in student loan debt. You will be immediately financially ahead of them. And what I mean financially ahead of them, you keep your finances in the black because they're all in the negative. That means they're under zero. The black means zero and above. If you keep your finances in the black, you will always be financially ahead of them. It's sixth grade math. And it sounds so simple because it is that simple. And think about it this way. They always talk about the 1%, right? That's why there are so few people there, because there are so few people that understand this. It's insanity. It's crazy. It's so easy. It almost sounds like I'm talking. You're probably thinking, oh man, it can't be that easy. It is that easy. You don't have to do what everybody else does. But anyway, back to what I was saying. If you pay off, don't care what the rest of the world thinks what you're doing. If they think you're broke, if they think you're poor, oh man, why you still driving that same old car? Because it's paid off. Why you still have that old phone? Because it's paid off. Remember, if they're leasing a phone, if you let me put it this way. If you're financing a phone, you're not ready to finance a house. It's that simple. I know you're probably thinking, no way is it that easy. It is that easy. And when you hear all these financial gurus, again, when you're young, you don't really understand, right? So if your finances are in a negative, you can't really hear all these financial gurus talking about all these percentages and the stocks and bonds. Don't worry about any of that. Don't worry about any of that. If you concentrate on your finances, keeping them in the black, that stuff will be crystal clear to you. But when you're in debt, you can't hear it. It's that simple. And do like this to better understand the seriousness of this, okay? And remember, people in debt love talking about their debt. So this is what you do. Go to a person that's 5, 10 years, 15 years older than you. Ask them, say, hey, do you still have your student loan debt? All right, and see what they have around them. See if they have a nice car, a nice house, nice clothes, and then ask them, do you still have your student loan debt? People in debt love to say, oh yeah, man, I still have it. If they still have it, that means they're in the negative. No matter what stuff they have, cars, clothes, houses, that means absolutely nothing. Because if they're financing it, it belongs to the bank. It's not theirs. It's not their car. It's not their house. They're charging clothes on their credit card. None of it's theirs. And once they stop making payments on them, those people will figure out quickly that that stuff does not belong to them. Don't be like them. And when you come across people, and these are things you can't see this when you're in debt. When you come across people that brag about their credit score, a credit score means nothing. Why? Because in order to have a high credit score, you must remain in debt. High credit scores are not free. I'm not saying having bad credit. I'm saying don't even use credit. You don't need it. You don't need it. You're just made to believe you need it. And I know you're probably thinking, well, who are you? And how come nobody else has told me this before? Because that's how rare it is. Again, that's why it's only one. They always talk about the 1% that are rich. That's why. Because very few people understand this 6th grade math. It's not rocket science. Just apply this following formula to your finances always, and you will be rich or wealthy, whatever you decide to do. If rich is not good enough, go to wealthy. Debt plus savings equal your net worth. So if somebody brags about their high credit score, say, hey, I don't want to hear your high credit score. Let me see your credit report. And if their credit report is in the negative, adding up all their debts, unless you want to be just like them, don't pay attention to them. They're not worth anything. Whether they know it or not, math doesn't care. Math doesn't care if you think it's wrong or right. Math doesn't care about your feelings. I'll give you another example like this. Never mix your feelings with your money, ever. Don't ever do that. Because this is what you're saying when you do that, right? What if somebody walked up to you and said, you know what? I feel like 1 + 1 should equal 3. How would you respond to them? How would you respond to them? You would be like, I don't care what you feel like. 1 + 1 = 2, right? That's what you would say. Now, say it like this. What is 20,000 minus 100,000? 20,000 minus 100,000. That's negative 80,000, right? Now, I'm going to reword it, okay? Now, this is how people in debt think. I'm going to add a couple things, all right? $20,000 saved for a house. If a person has $20,000 saved for a house, and if they have $100,000 in student loan debt, it's still negative 80,000. The person in debt still believes they have $20,000 saved for a house. The math doesn't change, and nor does math even care how you feel about it. Math doesn't care. Math says negative 80,000 is negative 80,000, period. Don't get caught up in that nonsense. If you do this now, young people, if you do this now, you will be rich. You will be financially ahead of millions. $12 trillion in student loan debt, you will be financially ahead of millions upon millions of people. Right out the gate, man. I wish to God somebody told me this. I'm 48 now. I didn't wake up till about age 40. What that means is this, and I don't even know if somebody kind of mentioned it to me. Remember, the 1%, so there's very few people that are debt-free. You will be rare. I know I'm rare. People think I'm crazy, and I justify it with math, and people still think I'm crazy. Be crazy. Be crazy rich. Be crazy wealthy. And it's just 6th grade math. But if you go this route, I want you to understand, if you go this route, you don't really talk about it to people because they'll think you're crazy. You'll lose friends. Don't even bring it up. If they ask you, you prove it with math. If they still don't believe you, you shut up. Don't talk about it anymore. Just leave it. Because those are people that are I, don't 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 be upset with them. Don't be mad at them or anything like that. Just be understand that they're trapped in the debt matrix. That's it. They're just trapped in the debt matrix. They don't know anything outside that box. That's their whole world. They worship credit. And 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 just like okay, here's another thing. Since becoming debt free, I now understand that money is spoken in two languages. Okay, you might not understand what I'm saying right now, but just listen. If you stay debt free, you'll understand it later. Money is spoken in two languages: debt and debt free. If a person has been in debt all of their life, they only speak debt, and they have no idea the language of debt free even exists. Here, I'll give you a couple examples so you kind of can understand what I'm saying. When a person goes and signs up for a, say like cell phone, right? A cell phone. And they say, hey, come in and you buy one and get one free. Okay. Now the person in debt will walk in and truly believe they're getting a cell phone for free, right? They believe that. Okay. Now, if you think about it this way, if you opened a business and gave away everything for free, how long would you be in business? This is how debt-free people see the world, and it's just math. Okay, it's not. I'm not saying I'm some messiah or anything. It's just math. If you gave away everything in your business for free, how long would you be in business? You wouldn't be in business at all. You wouldn't be in business. Okay? Think about it this way. If your finances today were a business, would you still be in business? You wouldn't be in business probably, huh? I knew I wouldn't have been. I knew I wouldn't have been in business. How long? I was making six figures and I was still living paycheck to paycheck. Why? Because I believed in credit. I believed in the nonsense. Imagine you do whatever it takes to pay off your student loans, plus that having that good job you have, right out of college, fresh and young, right? You're climbing. All your money will be yours, and everything you pay for is in cash. Now, here's another thing you cannot see. Okay, you won't see it now, and I guarantee you, people that are in debt, that's years beyond you, don't even see it. Okay, when you don't have debt, you have cash. Okay, and so say like it's time for you to buy a house. All right, when you have cash, the market rate for a house wherever you want to live, okay, wherever you want to live, doesn't matter to you. You don't care what market rate of houses are. It doesn't matter. That's only for people that need credit and loans and stuff like that. That only matters to them. Why? And I'll tell you why. Here we go. I'll tell you why. There are more, as long as there are people with mortgages, there will always be a home available to you in the area that you want and desire. Always. Why? Because in 30 years, their 30-year mortgages, they cannot have one financial hiccup. Loss of a job, loss of a spouse, hurricane, the economy, a business closing, whatever, right? Once that happens, they lose the house. And guess what? If you're there with cash, they will take whatever you have, half, quarter of the price. What if the economy crashes like this? Say like this. Say like you had no debt and you had stacks of cash. And remember when the economy crashed in 2008? Can you imagine the type of home you could have got at the price you could have got it for? They would have took anything. And you could have bought 2 or 3 homes for the price of one home in some fancy neighborhood that you wanted to be in. You could have bought it too and just sit, and because you own them, you could just sit on them. Wait till the economy comes back up, rent them out, sell them, do whatever you want. You don't have any payments. Yeah, you have to pay taxes, but and remember, only people in debt say this, okay? People in debt say that, oh man, you really never own it because you still have to pay taxes on it. You can either say this back to them or just think about it in your brain, okay? Say, are you comparing a monthly mortgage to yearly taxes? I hope not, because I'll take that any day of the week and even on Sundays. Live like a college student until it's paid off. Live with your parents, kick them down some rent so they won't even say nothing. I guarantee you, if your parents are in debt, they will not say one word if you kick them down monthly rent. Offer right off the bat. Hey, mom, dad, I'll kick you down 600, especially if you got a good job and no debt. Kick them down $600,000, whatever, something. They will shut up. Why? Because 9 times out of 10, they will have debt. And if they ask you, you say, hey, I'm paying off my student loan. They might coerce you, try to coerce you. Oh, don't do that. Invest it in this and take it in that, and the stock will grow and this and that and all this stuff, other nonsense. All you got to do is take it back to math and go, mom, dad, if I make $5,000 a month and I got $100,000 in student loan, math says I'm negative $95,000. Where is this money coming from that I'm supposed to invest into the stock market, into stocks and bonds to earn all this interest? Because let me see, zero compounded multiple 15,000 times with zero is still zero. Don't fall for that trap. That's called being blinded by debt. Debt causes people to become blind. Keep your eyes open. Don't be wandering through life like most Americans do. They think they people with all this stuff walk around calling themselves homeowners, knowing they just walked out of the bank signing that thick stack of papers. Don't be them. That was including me, okay? I'm not even talking bad about them. It's just math. It's nothing personal. Even after walking out of the bank, not having a clue of what type of mortgage I had either. Didn't even have a clue. I just was like, oh, I'm a homeowner. After walking out signing that thick stack of mortgage papers, initial here, sign here, initial here, sign here, not having a clue of what I'm signing. And then walk out, the bank hands me the keys and say, you're a homeowner. And I said, woohoo, I'm a homeowner. I wasn't a homeowner. I was a loan owner. I didn't own nothing. Did the same thing with a car. People actually prepare themselves to stay for hours upon hours to finance a car. I got some news for you. It doesn't take all day to buy one car. If you had cash and walked onto the car lot and you had cash and you hand the guy the cash for that car and say, hey, how much is that car? $20,000-$30,000. You say, here. And he sat down and said, hey, it's going to take us 3-4 hours to drive that car from the back of the lot up to the front so you can drive out. Would you stay? You'd be like, hell no, I'm leaving. Give my money. I'm out of here. It doesn't take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours to buy one car. Only people in debt accept that. Why do you think CarMax car lots are looking like football fields? Because people are getting great deals on cars? That's not true, because financing a car is one of the worst things in the world to do. Never tell anybody that you're financing a car. If you ever hear somebody say, oh man, I got a great deal on a great percentage rate and I can afford my monthly payments, you better stop listening to them, because that is no such thing. If you're financing a car, 0% rate, whatever, that's money magic. That's monopoly money. Don't believe that. You walk away. Matter of fact, run away. Don't listen to them. They will get you in financial trouble, and it will take you years to get out. Don't ever do that. It all starts with that student loan. Get rid of that bad boy. That bad boy is huge. A lot of people keep that thing like a damn pet. They look at it. I hear these people giving out financial advice in chat rooms and in Facebook groups, right? And then they're saying things like, and then we know what, I go in there and ask them, do you have a student loan? They say, yep. But I'm not going to pay it off because I'm investing my money into this other stocks and mutual funds and all this other stuff. I'm thinking to myself, no, you're not. You're investing the bank's money. You know why? Because you have no money. So that has to be borrowed money. I'm going to give you guys something that I was thinking about the other day. So you and just think about it. Follow it mathematically. Okay. Now, if a person has $100,000 in student loan debt, that means they're in a negative. Okay, that means they have no money. Now, if a financial advisor tells them that instead of taking that money and paying off the student loan debt and tell them to invest in the stock market, you got to remember, if they're in the negative, in order to invest in the stock market, they have to borrow that money indirectly from the bank. It has to be borrowed money. There is no other way. It has to be. Okay? The bank understands this. I want you to understand. The bank they don't involve feelings. And be like the bank. Don't involve your feelings. It has to be borrowed money. The bank understands this. So what you're doing, if you don't pay off your student loans, right? You're in the negative. What you're doing is you're borrowing money from the bank to invest in the stock market. The bank doesn't lose. You lose. Okay? Now, if you invest that money, which is really the bank's money because you have no money. If you have a student loan, you have no money. So that has to be borrowed money. You invested in the stock market, that's the bank's money you're investing in the stock market. Now, if you win, guess what? The bank wins too. But if you invest and you lose, the bank still wins. You know why? Because you still owe the bank money. They don't lose. You lose. Don't ever do that. Do not invest in anything outside of yourself if your finances are not in the black. The black means you're at zero or above. And when you're in a negative, you have $100,000 in student loan debt, you are in the financial negative. Stay with your parents, drive an old car, and tell people around you, no, I ain't buying a house. I don't have them. Why? They're going to say, why ain't you buying a house? You say, because I ain't got no money. What you mean? You got that great job. A great salary means nothing. You go, my salary has nothing to do with my finances, ever. Nothing. People just think that. So when you see like you see a doctor, you see a lawyer, you see a pharmacist, you automatically assume they must got money. Ooh, they must got money. Look at their car, look at their house. That has nothing to do with nothing. Those are the ones with the biggest financial debts, student loan debts. They have the biggest, and they have the largest salaries to get out of the debt. You think they do it? That ain't do it. They just stay stuck, and they pretend. If their finances are in the negative, they are pretending, and now they're stuck. So imagine this. What if they become a lawyer or a doctor, right? And they decide they don't want to be that anymore. They can't get out. You know why? Because they're at probably $300,000-$400,000 in student loan debt. They're stuck. You don't want to be stuck. If you decide, say like you got your career right now, you have your career that you got your bachelor's in, and you wake up one day and you decide you don't want to do that anymore, you can just leave. Because you have no financial obligations to no one. Why? Because you own everything. You say, I don't want to do this anymore. And you just try something else. Because when you're debt free, you don't care about what other people in the debt matrix think. They're going to think you're broke. They're going to think, oh man, he's been driving that old car forever. You can't keep the people in the debt matrix. I don't even hear them. Because they have no idea what they're saying. Not a clue. It's going to amaze you too. You're going to hear the things they say. Oh man, I'm contributing to my 401k and I'm getting the match and I'm getting they do this and they throw all these fancy numbers out like they really understand what they're saying. Oh man, I'm matching this and the percentage rates is going up and I got this. And then you go, do you got student loans? Yeah, I got student loans, but I ain't worried about that. You better stop listening to them, because they're thinking they're matching something. They're matching 0 upon 0. 0 plus 0 equals 0, but they don't know that. The only person that's benefiting from it? The business that's taking their money. They're investing that money. They're getting fees. They're getting all kind of stuff off that money. If you don't know, that's your problem. That's not the job's problem. They are business. They never mix feelings. Ever. When you get that job, just like the job. Don't love it, because it's business. I'm telling you, young people, if you do this, you will get to the 1%ers so quick, because you're never going to be paying full price for anything anymore. Anything. Remember when I said, if the economy, downturns or what, people lose their jobs or whatever, right? You come in, you swoop in, buy the house for half or less, right? But guess what? When it's time to sell, hell yeah, it's market price. You better believe it. Why? Because there are plenty of people out there ready to finance, ready to pretend to be homeowners, when in actuality, when actuality, they're going to be loan owners. And it all starts in the beginning of your life. Pay off that student loan and you will be rich with a regular job. One more thing before I tell you, this is kind of going to be kind of above your head now, but you'll understand later. Don't get upset at taxes, okay? Taxes, this is, and follow the math, okay? Follow what I'm saying here. Taxes create financial segregation. That's all they are. You ever notice, like, for example, and you probably never thought about it this way, right? How come you can owe hundreds of thousands of dollars to the student loan place, Sally Mae or whatever, right? You're not going to go to jail. You're not going to go to prison. You just got to pay it, right? How come you can't owe that same amount to the IRS? Because taxes are the main backbone of our economy. They create structure. They create financial segregation. And if you don't take the time to understand the rules, you're going to succumb to, oh man, the tax man, and be scared of the IRS. Why are you scared of the IRS? You follow the rules. You don't have to be scared of the IRS. Just follow the rules. Those rules are there for a reason. They keep structure. They keep financial structure. So my main point is this. If you stay out of debt, create a business that you love, you will never pay taxes directly again. And you're probably thinking, what you mean never pay taxes? You won't pay your taxes. Your customers will be paying your taxes, not you. When you work an hour for dollar, hour for hour, yes, you're paying your own taxes. But if you create your own business, your customers are paying your taxes. This is way down the road. Get out of debt, keep your finances in the black. You will clearly see what I'm talking about. Why do you think IRS scams are so rampant out here? Because everybody don't know what they're doing with their money. So they're, oh man, did I pay taxes? Did I do it right? Oh my God, the IRS. And they fall for them stupid ass tax scams. If you manage your money well, you get one of them IRS calls, you'll be like, click. I know that's a scam. Why? Because I know my money. I know I paid my taxes right. So I know it's a scam. Young people, don't give a shit about what other people think in the debt matrix. Ever. Ignore them. Pay off your student loans. You cannot care what they think. That is the largest prison in the world. The debt matrix is the largest prison in the world. No walls or guards needed, because it doesn't matter where you go. It doesn't matter where they go at all. They go on a boat cruise for vacation. They're still a slave. It doesn't matter. They're still in prison. Oh man, they went to Amsterdam. They went to Australia. Doesn't matter. They still got to report back. They're still in prison. They just gave a little pass to go out. They got to come back. Don't be like that. I'm freer than I've ever been in my life. There's nothing like it. Pay off those student loans. That'll be it. All right, you guys have a good one. Bye.